폰이 있잖아. 배터리를 끼니까
네.
뭐 물기가 있어서 이거 분리가 된다 하면서 충전이 안 되거든.
그 뒤에 뒷공무니에 물이 들어간 거예요.
글쎄, 내가 부엌에서 잠깐 못 넣었는데, 근데 이게 언제나 마를까?
모르겠어요. 근데 좀 시간이 걸릴 것 같은데 그거 그래가지고 그게 뒷공무니에 물 들어가면 그러더라고요.
해봤구나.
아니 뭐 딴 사람께 그렇게 되는 걸 봤어요.
그러면 고쳐지기는 하는가?
마르면
글쎄, 마르는 게 시간이 얼마나 걸리는지 모르겠다.
뭐 하루 이틀 걸리죠.
물이 어떻게 들어갔지?
물 설거지 같은데 하는데
그 옆에다
가더라고요.
그러니까 나도 모르고 이렇게 했구나. 아이고. 그 참 무식해가지고. 저기 데이비 들어왔는데 좀 인사 좀 할래? 나는.
아이. Hi, David.
Good morning, Georgian.
Yeah, how are you?
Doing very well.
Yeah.
Making some fruit salad, so I'm here, but I'll be with you in video person soon.
Okay. You mean the fruit salad? Page number 33.
서기를 목요일 날 배웅이랑 하는데 들어올 수 있어? 들어올 거야?
한번 들어가 볼게.
그래. 이번에는 구평이도 도와서 잠깐 인사한다고 했는데.
예.
시간 되면이? 오케이.
예.
여기는 오전이라서 오전이야 여기는.
예.
그래.
10시,
아이고
10시.
젊은 애들이 하니까.
33페이지라는데요. 오늘. We cannot judge everything. 33페이지. 그 채팅방에다가 데이빗이 어디까지 했는지 적어 놓으시더라고요. 예, 33페이지. We cannot judge everything with our narrow-minded. 누나 왔다. 누나. 하이 소정.
안녕.
누나 어디?
나 집이야.
집이야?
기 오빠 안녕하세요.
안녕.
누나, 그거 전자파 얼마 안 나와. 손에다 좀 끼고 살아봐.
전자파 나와.
안 나와.
나오더만.
전자파 측정기로 측정을 해줘야 되겠구만. 그게 뭐 몇 밀리암페어밖에 안 되는데.
그런가.
그게 그 속에 들어가 있는 건전지가 굉장히 용량이 작은 건전지거든. 배터리가 굉장히 쬐끄만 게 들어가. 그래가지고 왜냐면은 크기가 조그맣잖아. 시계 안에 배터리가 230mAh 뭐 이 정도밖에 안 들어가더라고. 누나 휴대폰이 몇 밀리암페어냐면 5000mAh가 넘어. 그 손목시계 들어가는 거는 200mAh 정도밖에 안 되거든. 그러면 그거를 200mAh짜리 그 쬐끄만 거를 누나 그거 한번 충전하면은 한 10일 가거든? 그러면은 하루에 20mAh 쓰는 거잖아. 그럼 1시간에는 1mAh 쓴다고 하는 거잖아. 전기가 뭐 많이 돌아가질 않는데 전기 전기 자체가 많이 안 돌아가는데 전자파가 나올 그게 없지 뭐 전기가 많이 안 도는데. 그래가지고 과학적으로 딱 생각을 할 때 전자파가 얼마 안 나와. 왜냐하면 전기가 세게 흘러야지 전기파가 세게 나올 건데 그거는 전기파가 굉장히 전기가 조그맣게밖에 안 흐르기 때문에 전자파가 거의 안 나온다고 보면 돼 누나. 그래서 나는 저녁에 이제 밤에 스마트워치를 얘기하고 있거든요. 스마트워치를 차고 자면 이제 밤중에 몇 시인지도 알아보고 내가 그거 없으면은 나는 중간에 깨면은 이게 도저히 시간을 모르잖아. 시간이 몇 시 더 자야 되는지 잠을 자지 말아야 되는지 뭐 이걸 모르니까 꼭 그거를 켜서 시간을 확인하고 더 자든지 아니면은 일어나든지 하거든. 그러니까 그러면 보고 또 이게 그 레코드를 해줘가지고 그걸 보면은 내가 밤사이에 잠을 제대로 잤는지 안 잤는지도 알 수 있거든. 그래서 수면을 내가 좀 안 좋네, 수면 질이 안 좋네 뭐 이런 것도 확인할 수 있고. 그렇고
아니 그 쓰다가 안 썼거든.
써봐봐. 왜 안 썼지? 나는 시계를 안 차질 않으니까 시계를 항상 늘 차니까. 다들 오셨는가?
누구 왔지?
지금
혜순이는 안 들어올란가 보다. 주백이 들어왔으니까 시작하면 되겠네. 혜순이는 들어오려면 벌써 들어왔는데 뭐 안 들어오는가 보다.
혜순이 언니 오늘 몸이 안 좋아서 못 들어온다고.
그러니까 소중아 네가 시작해.
Okay, everyone, let's get started. Good evening, everybody.
페이지 33.
Page 33.
We cannot judge everything.
Page 33.
We cannot
Not judge,
judge
okay.
everything.
석일 오빠, you go first.
No. I'm looking for the script now.
Okay.
I'm looking for 33, okay? Wait.
Yes.
내가 먼저 읽지 뭐.
Okay, Jajin, you go first.
소리 잘 들려?
Puri. Oh, yes. We can hear you well.
We cannot judge everything with our mindedness. The situation given to us are the most appropriate for us. If we receive this enlightenment, this is the true spiritual gift and the biggest blessing. It would be wiser for us to pray that He would make us our spiritual stomach and appetite become stronger. To have a strong spiritual appetite is more desirable than to have a strong physical stomach or strong physical appetite. God always gives us the most appropriate gift and assignment. If I become an overcomer, then I will go one step higher, and as we go higher and higher, our views, standing point, and territory will become broader spiritually. Okay. The bird who fly higher can see further. If we fly higher, then we will see further and our territory will become broader. People would complain, why do I have to pay the price? If you pay the price, you will become resurrected and become an overcomer. But if you don't, you cannot win in spiritual warfare. warfare. 하나 더 읽을까?
Okay, let me read, okay?
Yeah.
I found, yeah. If you want to flee from Egypt, you have to pay the price with the little lamb. To be free from prison, you have to pay a large sum of money for bail. God always sends a messenger and let me pay the price, but he never talks direct to me. During the Old Testament times, God talked direct to his people from heaven. But in modern days, he talks through his messengers. Our God keeps sending his messengers. People around me can give me a problem, problems, but through these people, God makes me peaceful after the discipline. To be an overcomer, God is leading to his side. He wants to call me into his own world. God is constructing New Jerusalem with these materials so that we can enjoy this beautiful and perfect world. God's beautiful castle, New Jerusalem, our eternal home.
이게 넥스트 파일로 가야 돼요. 그 다음부터는
Okay.
45페이지서부터는.
Okay.
책을 안 봐. 책을 봐야 되는구나. 이게 여기까지가 챕터 1이었어요. 1 끝나는 그냥 그러니까 Okay, it's the end of the chapter 1. The page number 34. And it also say that
Now, are you giving your testimony, Jajin?
it's just written every circumstances which is given to us. No, we know if we trust his plan, I mean always our human beings or always we think about our purpose. My purpose. I only focus my purpose, not purpose. But so that's why always we fail because as a human being, we are not fit for my purpose, but we are very good match for His purpose. So if we trust God's purpose, if we trust God, then every circumstances which is given to us is all for Him. So I think that when I was a young guy, I always, as I said, I always dreamed that I have a very happy marriage life. That is my hope, because my parents, their marriage life, in my eyes, was not good. They always quarrels, and every night my dad drank whole night, and we just we we have we cannot but staying in home, staying at in my rooms and everybody's rooms, and we have to we had to listen to his every bad sayings. It's a curse for everybody who he knows. And so it was very miserable night. I always, every night, uh blocked I blocked my uh, ears with my hand, not listening his bad saying. I always went around. It's my home is just a place uh to sleep. So I didn't want to go home. So always, I wandered around and around. It just 11 p.m. or almost midnight. I went home and just slept there. And early in the morning, 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., I to school, and and because I don't want to stay at home, I nearly hate my father. Yeah, I always think that why my mother not decide to divorce, because I think if my mother decide to divorce, then I think that I'm the first to support her. Yeah, that is my so that's why I always dreamed I want to have a happy marriage life, happy family. Always I think about that. So but I don't know. It's a but it is kind of, I think that it's kind of a chance. It's a kind of a chance. I mean, if I meet very good partner, very good person, I can have a happy marriage life. If I meet not so good women, then my life, my family, my marriage life will become so. It's I think that it looks like how can I say uh chance chance matter. You know, it's a probability matter. So, but meeting this church, and I found the one family, and they are married. If they don't know each other at all, but they are very satisfied with their marriage life. I saw that family, and one of the women's she said, you have to know the Christ before marriage. It is the first thing if you nearly, I I think that they have very good, happy marriage life. So she said, and they said, it is the secret. We are all looking to the Christ and going to the Christ. That's why we are having very happy marriage life. So they said to me, you before the marriage, you have to know the Christ. So that is a very shocking to me, and I think that it could be the answer. It could be answer to my hope to have a happy marriage family, happy family. So I, you know, and now I don't know exactly, but you know, uh, in marriage life, if we don't know the Christ, if we my I met my wife in the church, and if we didn't know Christ, then I think that we could not be happy. I think so because I understand her through Christ, through Jesus. So that's why deeply I become close to her. It's just like the triangle. Where we are extending, to the edges, but we go, the near and near, and we meet each other in on the cross. I mean the Christ. That is in the Christ. So it is the secret of a happy family. Happy family. I think that if we want to have a happy marriage life, then I think that we have to know Christ. That I also 100% I agree. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, I want to respond to judging a little bit later, but from the text that we read this evening, on page 33, it says, the situations given to us are the most appropriate for us. If we receive this enlightenment, this is a true spiritual gift and the biggest blessing. So these two sentences, I think are are what I need the most nowadays. And given the circumstances, I've been always, wanting something better, or I was not quite happy with the status quo. But like after reading this sentences, I realized right now what's given to me is the most appropriate for me. And it is said that if once I receive this enlightenment, this is the true spiritual gift and the biggest blessing. So I'm very glad to have come across these two sentences to lead me to the right path. Thank you. And I need to head out to pick up my daughter. So if you can continue on, I will keep my Skype on, but I'll be driving around to get my daughter. Thank you.
Hi, Misha. Hi.
I
I was listening to Jojen, and a lot of what you were saying resonates, with me. But I remember some advice before, long ago, long before I married, He says, if you want a happy marriage, marry a happy person. And well, things do change in life. I think a person who has figured out how to be happy under any circumstance goes a long way, to making a happy marriage. And that was one thing that I saw in Ruth, before we married. And part of what I was looking for in a marriage partner was that somebody who has been through hardship. They know what hardship is, and yet they are happy today. And so, I felt that as, I'm basically a happy person. There are things in my life that I've seen as hardship, but not anything like what many people have to experience. And, some of the hardship that Ruth experienced was, far greater than anything that I had to experience in my life. But she was a happy person. Because our first meeting was just the impact of her smile. That radiant smile, a happy smile, was had a huge effect on me, and that's what started everything. But as a Baha'i, coming to know Ruth and her church history, which is she basically was a church builder, but from a different perspective. And it was meeting Moksanim, Reverend Lee, that really changed her perspective, and there prior to that, she, even though being a Christian for many years, it was it was at a later time that she actually felt she met Christ or really understood what it is to be in Christ and have Christ in her. And then after that, she met Moksanim, which really, Moksanim's message was, it just resonated with her, much more. And that was the start of her, life in the Daegu church, community. So realizing that was so fundamental, to her, that's why I have tried to get to know, the church life community and that perspective since the time that we met. And so, like Joajin was saying, that you understand or know your wife better through the church. I feel that the more I learn about, the Daegu church perspective, the more I know Ruth through, her experience, which that helps our marriage. That's all I can say on that.
Yes. In Daegu Church, it is the difference is in the Bible always written that if you not get along with your brothers and sisters, then before praying for God, you went to him or her and then reconciled and then pray for God. It is written in the Bible. And the Daegu Church, how can I say, if we think that the God, then I said that it's only created in my imagination, So I don't know if I getting, along with God or not. If my pray is very, well, and the pray, and I feel, I'm very overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed by Christ or God like, then I feel I'm very well connected to God, I think, in my imagination. Then something I did something wrong, and bad things happen in my life, then I wonder I'm not on right path or not. I always, think like the way. It's on my imagination, in my imagination. So, but in the Jago church, people say that if you not getting you are get along with your brothers and sisters, then you have a problem. You have a problem to have a relationship with God. It is a kind of indication that you have a problem in God. Then it is revealed that you cannot have a good relationship with brothers and sisters. So it's a how your church life is going. It is we know our 다 들렸어. Our is a connection to the God is good or not. We can know it. It's a very practical, because I know it's a my brother and sister is not my imagination. It's a real person. If I, have my wife is not the my imagination. My wife is also real person. So if I get along with my wife, then how can I get along with a God? It's my imagination. So Reverend Lee always said that, come to the church and show everything to the church members when you want to, what you want to say. In Daegu Church, there is so many people, so many group meetings that sometimes which is rebel against Reverend Lee. But Reverend Lee say that that is the evil, or he didn't say that is the evil. They are not my way, my side. He didn't say anything. Just he say, come to the church, and he gave the chance to to her or to the groups to announce publicly to all church members. Oh, because it is needed to be, having processes in the church. He didn't judge, it is good or not, because he didn't know. He is not the judge. He is the person who always watching how God is going the church. So that's why he didn't judge anything. He just to say, the person who rebels against him, and he who said bad things to him, then how can give the chance to in public in the church, how can he give the chance to say everything in public in the church. But he did. So he think that he didn't judge anything, but he think that it need to be, having the processes in the church. So, so that's why that kind of process is refined, and it will be, be a result of, something. And so that's why he just to see, he just watching. So that's why I like this church, because nobody judge anything. So they are all watching how God is going. So that's why like this church because it's a church is very practical, and we don't building the church on our imagination, but we building the church on real brother with a real brother and sisters.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
I think that's so real.
Mm.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, I was really impressed by your testimony. Yeah, yeah. Reverend Lee didn't say criticize anything. He just is waiting and what God is doing. So yeah, I respect. I was really blessed by Pastor Lee. His attitude. Okay, he didn't say anything, just waiting. He said, just wait what God is doing. So his attitude is wonderful. And so I was really blessed by his attitude. And yeah, and David said, yeah, it's right. If you want to get happy marriage, yeah, you have to meet happy man or woman. Yeah, it's really, yeah, right way. And so I think why David loved Ruth because Ruth had a beautiful smile. So that was real impact David's, choosing. So I understand that well. Okay. So as Jajin said, yeah, if we focus on Jesus Christ, we can meet between husband and wife. We can meet. Okay, if we focus on Jesus Christ and if we have a church life, it's very easy to be reconciled, to go together to God. So it's very important. Church life is very, very important. So here in Canada, so I miss David church life a lot because here in Canada, we don't have many brothers, sisters. So sometimes I miss, David church brothers and sisters because, yeah, it's a big stream flow in David church. So I really agree what Jajin said. That's all.
Hi, Misha. I saw your Facebook and you went to the farm.
Yeah, it's a dragon fruit farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is owned by my former colleague in the office because he transferred to the government. So it's like he said, let's go to our farm and you pick what you want, you bring it home.
Uh-huh.
So it was a free treat.
Yeah.
Thank you for your message, by the way. It's like a marriage message. Took note of it. I remember it.
I mean, it's having a marriage life with my wife, and I think that why she said that Christ is needed to have a happy marriage life. So because how can I say, without the Christ we just think our spouse as a function only, as a father or as a husband, or care of the baby. Kind of the kind of function is only important. So we don't think about each other. We just think about my baby, or common how can I say, common ground we just taking care of. So it's just a kind of a good team to have some function. I mean, we have no chance to know each other. And I mean, in Daegu Church is very strange that every people, so many people showed their life in the church, which is the life is very brighter and very, how can I say, everybody envy, but then it is natural to show the life. But in Daegu church it is very somewhat strange that they show very miserable life, or very hardship, or very bad times and very shameful things happened in their life, the kind of things they showed. So but it's a very, how can I say, not common in our society. Everybody cover themselves to make themselves to look like a good something. They always pretend to be nice and good, and wealth, and everything other people say envy. So but in the church they didn't to show the kind of things, especially in the Daegu church. They show very shameful things in their life. They show so, but it is how can I say, we know each other deeply, not with the bright side of the life, but the uh, dark side of the life. We know him deeply. It is how can I say, so after I always 45 or 46 years old, and nobody when I was a child, I think that I have a friend, but now I'm old enough, not easy to have a friend because nobody tell themselves truly, uh, when the person who is the 34 over 30 year or 40 years old, they don't show themselves because they think that it's kind of very shameful. They feel like they are naked, so they don't show any shameful something in their to other people. But in the church, only in the church I can meet people deeply. So that's why I can have a very deep friend, deep brothers and sister, you know, in the church only. Yeah, so I'm very, and without the church, how can I know the Mishak? how can I how can I feel this kind of a connection to Mishak in Philippines? Is a, how can I say, I it is a happen, the kind of thought. Uh, so I think that is through the church. It is only through the Daegu church. It is possible. I think so. I'm very thank you, giving me this church, giving chance to know this church. Thank you.
One good thing that stands out in Daegu Church is the natural growth of relationship. There is no program to follow, no protocol, but relationships just grow as the sharings and testimonies go on. There is no step 1 to 10 until 100 to follow, but relationships in God and in Christ develop gradually as the testimonies are being shared by one and another. Very organic.
Yeah, very think that how can I say,
Very
We-
natural.
you know this church and you come to this church and we become friend and brothers. It's a kind of, how can I say, miracle.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think that I always imagine, this kind of church because every people in the church, they say, 어,
자꾸 이리 와.
알았어. They say love in, apparently, but deeply they are in love. So that's why I was very sorry about that and very sad about that. But after meeting this church, it's the church, always I imagine. So that's why, wow, that's it. That's it. I'm so I'm very I become a very happy person to because I know this church, you know. So yeah. Then you have the file number 2. Okay, the path of the church, file number 2. One is chapter 2. It begins to the church of Ephesus. You can see,
Yeah.
it's a carrying rooms, and you can download the file number.
Actually, I have the book.
Oh, you have a book. Oh, you have a book.
Yeah.
So, Misha, why don't you read, chapter 2, the page number 36?
Right from the start.
Yeah, start.
Okay. We can learn a lesson from the life of little children. Their only thoughts are eating delicious food and playing with their friends. Adults express their desires in a different manner, but ultimately children and grown-ups are the same. People's main goal or ultimate concern is how can we enjoy good food, stay with good people, and enjoy our life together. Church life is the same, and as we eat the fruit of life, we become one with the Lord. This is the path of the church. The church is aimed at fulfilling God's purpose on earth. Should I continue?
Go on. Oh.
Yeah. What is the purpose of God and what is the wish of parents? Parents' wish for their children is to have good food, be healthy, and enjoy a prosperous life. God has the same mind as his parents. He is fully satisfied if his people have the best food, live a prosperous and happy life. Therefore, the path of church is to share good food and enjoy a prosperous life together. God created people and provided a place to stay, the Garden of Eden for them to live. He prepared all the good food for them to eat. Therefore, when little children are educated, the most important thing for them is for them to discriminate is what to eat and what not to eat. There are 2 kinds of fruit trees in the Garden of Eden, and you shall not eat the fruit from the tree of good and evil, but you should eat the fruit from the tree of life, and we will be able to stay together forever. God is our parent of parents, and this was the very first words of him, which was given to his people. It's also true with our mother. The first thing that our mother did when we were born was to feed us with her milk. In the same manner, church parents want their children to eat the best food, the eternal fruit, which will never make them hungry or thirsty. This fruit will provide eternal life, not a perishable life. This is the fundamental problem within the church and is the most important issue. Yeah, I think that's a good part to stop.
Yes, I think that is the same thing, which David said. David said that he met Ruth because she is very happy. She thinks that she looks very happy person with a very good smile. So that's why he decided to meet Ruth. So I mean, there is the same things. If we want to happy, then we have to go the person, the people who are happy. I mean, it is a very natural, and it's a who is the happy person then? It is the person have a very good food, have a very good food. I mean, which is it is a very easy because we want to be healthy, then we have to eat very healthy food. The other day I saw the documentary movie about a vegan, not not eating the meat, but only eating the vegetables and fruit. So it was so much shocking, and I also decided not having meat or sausage or the kind of things. Eat I will not eat anymore. I just eat only fish. I cannot give up the fish. and the fruit and the vegetable. uh, I think that it is very important what kind of things we eat, you know, in our body, condition. If we eat the bad, food, how can I say, produced in the factory, the kind of things we makes us weak and sick. I think that so many people had a cancer. I work. I as I I'm working for the hospital. I saw many patients who have a what is that, tumor,
Tumor.
tumor, yeah, and cancer. So many people I saw the cancer. Uh, why they have the kind of very bad disease they have. It is kind of a chance. It is a kind of a matter of uh, pro- probability, or it is the kind of something. How can I say which is not unavoidable. Always I so That's why we don't know the future. So I'm very scared. But we have nothing to handle down, the kind of problem. But it's, after seeing, after watching the documentary about vegan, I think the thought hit me that so many bad food around us. uh, we have to discriminate which is good food or not. uh, if we protect our body uh, from having the kind of sickness or disease. So it is all things is the same in the church. If we stay in the church and we meet the happy persons and we have good food together, then we become healthy and healthier. And so it's a very natural. So um, I'm. It is a it is a very fortune to know the source of the place where good food there's so many good food. So that nobody knows, not many people know the place, but we know the place. So I think that it's very fortunate to know the place, and to have a healthy mental, condition, uh, because we know Oh, we know, the place. Thank you.
Right. I think God had a long journey to provide shelter for his children. In the beginning, he provided physical food and physical world. But at present, he provided a home for his children, and that is the church. And Daegu Church is one home that he prepared for his children as a father and mother to his child. That's all. Maybe Jubek wants to continue.
Hi. What do you want me to say?
Page 37.
I don't have book.
I have the file.
I don't have what you do, and what I remember from what you're saying is to be happy, you need to get married to a happy person. David. And I wasn't a happy person. So to be happy, I got married. And my husband was a happy person. And so it's like a drama at the beginning. It's like it seems like even I tried to be happy. I don't know how, and that's why I got married to who looks very happy. And but I was afraid because he became unhappy because of me. And so I just I didn't want to repeat the life my parents are having. And also I had a psychological counseling, and the doctor said the negative thing is very strong. It's stronger than the positive one, and I can make my marriage life to be like my parents. So that was curse. And so after I make mine to be like my parents, I would say, you see, I don't deserve happiness. You see, that's my destiny, something like that. And but now it is different, totally different. Because of the message. The Bible, I've never thought the Bible, just the words, a story, history, can make a person like me in real life changed. But the words has power. The words has power of creation. And so God didn't show me anything clearly, but because of the words, I can see something new is happening all the time. And it is very strange. It is very strange. The one thing I strongly believe is the words has the power of a creation. So it is so important to what you hear. But all the words, what I've been hearing these days, it's not from me. That's one thing I know. It's not from me. It's not originated from me. It is, there are people. So I thank them. It was like a channel to heaven. Even I went to church. I was very devoting to church meetings about money things. I was doing that. But when they promised me heaven after I die, there was no thank you for me. Do I have to live again like this in heaven? It was not happy promising. But now I know heavens heavens and hell is the state, not just the place. Now these days I feel I owe people. Even at the beginning, I used to think I need to share my happiness, but it's not. I owe them. I feel like I owe people my happiness. You also said something about the fundamental thing. My life, I felt, as Jordan said, I used to think my life is from my parents, but now it's not. Fundamentally, my life has started when God made me, and He was happy after He finished His work. That is my starting point. So, that is also my identity. Now I have a very high, ultimately high self-esteem because I'm the son of God. He's going to inherit all His power, blessings, and that is from last Sunday's message. That is my, that makes me feel good all the time and proud. And so about the happy marriage life or happy relationship, I could say I am happy now. Why am I happy? Because I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. I don't no longer to copy others because I myself are so let's say fulfilled. I don't need to copy anybody else. So for a long time, I've spent my time and energy to be somebody else, but I couldn't define what he must be. But now I know from the beginning, God made me as His image. So that is my identity. So, but the bad thing about it, the thing I don't like about it is I cannot be the image alone. So there should be God. So we need to cooperate each other. So the part I need to do is staying alive. That is the only thing I need to do, just the being alive. As long as I'm alive, He can work through me. And that is very simple and easy because I didn't need to do anything to add or to delete from me. Just I need to be there. I need to be there as the image, just kind of an empty vessel. And then, and in that vessel, Satan used to be there, but I don't welcome Satan anymore because I know what it would be like when Satan was occupying me. So now I know there are three main characters: Satan, God, and me. When I work, I know I'm there not to get just the money they offer, just through all kinds of circumstances, I become somebody. But somebody is just well prepared just to be the image of God. There used to be lots of things I didn't choose, I didn't welcome, But through the circumstances and things happening to me, all the images washed out through sometimes painful experiences. Not always, a pleasing thing, but most of all through very painful experiences. But I know, when I delivered my sons, it was so painful. I asked my husband to kill me because I couldn't stand the pain. But now I know, after that deadly painful experience, I could have son. So something like that, where say a life can be born or can be or say and their life is born, so there is pain, but there is worth standing. So I'm not afraid of pain anymore. So when it is hard at work, 20 kids, teenagers, and bosses and works, but I don't see all the circumstances because I know I get paid monthly. That is kind of bonus, but through the work, through the things happening to me, I become the whole and perfect image of God. That is just the promise. But I see one person. Well, he is so weak, but I see myself in him. So when people say through their testimonies, and they make that person great, I don't like it, because he keeps saying we all people and in the same position, and whenever he says, it's like a testimony of my own. So I see myself in him perfectly, and he is my promise given by the God. So what I say, it is not just the imagination. It is not, as Judge said, it's not just the imagination. I see a real person. I cannot say everyone, but there are a few people I can see they are image carriers, as God promised for man to be. And then in my position, I also, not 24 hours a day, but I experience how glorified I am when I deliver the message through me, from my own experience. So I can say I can see body, God's body or church is forming at that spot, at that moment. That is amazing moment. So I used to be very shy, and I didn't have much to talk, and my mom used to say, talk. Because I had, but I didn't have to talk. I didn't enjoy talking about what. But now, instead of giving a church life book to the others, since last year, I deliver myself. I just talk whenever I can. I just talk to people in the elevator, at work, even for a short time. I try to talk to them. So because now I see I have things to share, to make, as like Michael Jackson said, to make better word. I need to talk. I need to talk. So, there is Elon Musk, and he planned to take people to let's say the other planet, but I'd like to make this Earth back to healthier and say as God created it, but not just the natures. Not instead of planting trees, I'd like to see other people to be satisfied with themselves and get happy like it happens to me. But as doing that, I feel responsible. That makes me that gives me reason why I have to be alive. I don't want to see myself getting old, getting sick, but I owe God. He gave me a life. So as long as my life is working, I'd like to tell people I got alive. I got alive through the message. So it is very, kind of sacred mission, and so I'm very grateful for giving me a job meeting teenagers and also co-workers. And I thank God for giving me people to talk to, because at last I have something to talk about. I become talkative. And as David always said, these days I smile more often, because to pay back, I owe them. So I'd like to show them how happy I am and how much the life is worth living. So when I see teenagers these days, they are having tests. They look miserable. They look miserable. They look so exhausted. The most of kids, after they study, the only thing to please themselves is go to computer room, playing games. I feel so sorry for them. I talk to them. I am sorry as elders. I'm sorry as seniors, kind of, So we adults make this society very competitive. I feel guilty about it, and kind of things. So how can I talk like that as just staying home and doing just nothing? So I'm not good at cooking or doing chores or lots of things, but I'm good at talking. I'd like to. So my contract is expiring soon. I don't know what's going to happen, and I thank the vice principal today because of him, I have another career as a homeroom teacher. In my age, that is my first career. So I thank him because of that new career, when I apply for job after I finish my contract, that will work, that will help. So anyway, I'm personally very, very happy because finally I have something to talk. The plants have fruits, but I've never seen elders bear fruit. But when I see church members, so they bear fruit. So I bear fruits too. So I'm not afraid of getting old anymore. I'm not afraid of getting old. When you get old, it is so natural you get sick. So what? As long as there are fruits, that'll be okay. That'll be okay. Thank you for being with me.
It is a very touching testimony, I think. And if we live very long life, but we have no fruit, then what worth in my life? It is not the matter of the longitude. It's not the matter, how I live long or not. I mean, how, but the matter is whether we live long or not. But but what kind of fruit in our life we have that's the real important things, I think. And also I'm very happy because in Korea it's a Chinese saying. There is a one person who have very good friend, and so he knows who understand his music. He is the music player, and but the friend died, and but the other friend become very sad and no more play music because there is no one to understand him. So I think that it's very important to have a friend in our life. So in Korean saying, if you have just one friend who nearly understands you, then your life is worthy. Then it is a Korean saying we have, but it's a very fortunate because we have many friends in the church who understand me and know me deep, very deep. So that's why I'm very happy, and it is no place to to understand the Jubek except church, I think.
And
Yeah.
that is so much better if that friend is your spouse, right?
Yes, that's the point. That's the point. So that's why we in the in the husband and wife, we have no Christ, then we have not so many things talk about. We just talk about the functioning. I mean, taking care of the baby, or building a house, or buying these things or that things. The kind of functions only we talks about. But we have a Christ, so we talk about Christ, and we know, and it becomes we becomes knowing each other deeply and deep, more deep and deep. So and now is the time. It's the 9:24, and we are in the page 37, and and maybe I think that we almost come to the time a closing time. So anyone want to share the testimony? David, you have something to tell us?
I'm just thinking of as you talk about the church, and it's like a home in a way. Things can happen in the home and be talked about in the home that actually stay in the home. But then we have to go out, outside of the home. And later in this book, there's a section where Reverend Lee is talking about how his only goal, whether that word or not, I don't know, but his desire is to be used by God, to be used by the Lord. And it talks about the work that's necessary to do that, and encourages everybody in the church to basically share the God's word with the sisters and brethren in the church and beyond. And so one of the things that while it's so important to have that home base, I think the kind of the message of Jubeck and how once she recognizes who she is, then that's a blessing that needs to be taken out to other people. And how do you do that? You just be yourself. Be the person that you have become through the nurturing of the church. And then starting with a smile or just being present, you share. And as people get to know you better or start to wonder, well, why are you so happy and I am not? Then they may ask questions and have an opportunity to hear the source of our happiness. And I'm thinking what Romy was talking last week about, just the idea of she's working with people that she has no association with outside of work. Why not? There's an opportunity there. And so I think it's just very, very interesting to have the opportunity that we have through the church, through this Skype, through other channels, just to do that relationship building in a way that we can become ourselves, become our true selves, to the extent as much as possible, and then just to be that person in among others. And again, Jubeck talking before about the friends at work that just came together to pray, because they're fellow Christians. And so again, the concept that wherever two or more are gathered in my name, there I am. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity that comes around every Tuesday morning for me, Tuesday evening for y'all. And thank you.
Thank you. So now then we are closing. That see you next Tuesday, and bye. Have a
Bye.
lovely
Good time. See you next week.